Welcome to From Loneliness to Overflow with Matina. I'm your host, a holistic healing coach, divorce recovery coach, and a passionate advocate for personal growth and your guide on the journey to healing. This podcast is for those who are struggling with the feelings of loneliness, disconnection, feeling stuck, and who are ready to discover their inner potential and live a life overflowing with love and connection. Inside, we are going to explore the path from pain to transformation, bridging the gap between loneliness and abundance through heartfelt conversations, spirituality, energy work, and self-awareness. So let's get started on this soulful journey together. Today's episode is really talking about being stuck. Where in your life do you feel stuck today? What is this emotion of stuckness doing to you, for you, and with you? We just stepped into a new year. And while this whole new year feels like a big year ahead, it can also feel like a very daunting year ahead. And it depends on how we are embracing our stuckness, how we are living up to our own standards, not anyone else's standards, but your own standards, so that you can make the most out of 2025. How are you embracing your life, stepping into it consciously, driven and understanding of what your own drivers are? See, sometimes a part of life is going really, really good, and we can really be on that train of everything is flowing, it's all good. I'm going to deny parts of my life where I feel stuck. It doesn't need to be career. It doesn't even need to be relationships. Two of the main focuses of us all. We all tend to focus on our careers so that we have enough money and enough abundance flowing into our lives, and upon our relationships. Do I have a partner? Do I have children? Am I on this bandwagon of I need to be married by this year, and I need to have children by this time, and I need to be on making sure my children do A, B, and C. But there are many other categories of life, parts of life, that don't receive the time it deserves. And when we don't give it the time it deserves, we feel that it is catching up on us in ways that we cannot understand. We feel that we have no control over that part of life unless and until you're shaken up and you're stopped in your tracks to really pay attention to it. For some of you, it's health. Your health is acting up. And while you've been on this train of performance, be that for others, be that for your career, be that for yourself, you've neglected your health. You've neglected what you know inside of you that your body wanted and needed from you. And when we neglect parts of our lives, we get stuck in them. So when diseases show up, it's a time to pause and reflect. And some of these diseases really take a toll on everything, while others are manageable. But instead of really paying attention as to how can you feed your body with the health and the space it needs and requires, we get a list of pills to take. And while they all are helpful, they all add to your own well-being. It is not the end solution. It's a tool. It's a tool to keep going. It's a tool to help you really come to terms with, okay, this is what's going on in my body right now. These are the medications I need and require for myself to keep going. And now I'm also going to do research, finding ways to create a better lifestyle for myself so I get healthier. And if you're lucky, you don't need those medications anymore. What are you doing to really focus on the areas of life that you haven't focused upon, where you know you feel stuck, but you don't want to feel stuck, so therefore you suppress. Therefore you tell yourself, but I'm too busy, and I have children, and I have my work, and my work is demanding, and my children need me. Everything and everyone perhaps needs you, but the one person that needs you the most, the one person that needs you the most is you. And when we choose to step into ourselves and to understand what are these emotions, why do I feel stuck, what's going on inside of me, we get depressed. What is depression? Depression are suppressed emotions. Depression is feeling out of control of your own life. And because we think that when I give myself the time, these emotions, the depression is going to come in waves to me and I will have no control, we choose to deny it. We choose to suppress it. We choose to pretend it's not even there. I'm sure you're thinking of many examples for your own self right now, but health is just one of them. Where do you feel stuck in your spirituality? Where do you feel stuck in your character? Where do you feel stuck in your parenting? Where do you feel stuck? There's so many life options that we can create for ourselves, that we can build from. And if your career is going great, perfect. You have a few parts of your life checked off. But how can you manage your time so that also the other parts of life deserve and receive the time it needs? Where can you look at yourself into the mirror and say, today is my day, and I don't need to feel guilty about it? Me focusing on me is not selfish. Me focusing on me is empowering myself, and through me, others to focus upon themselves too. And when everyone focuses upon themselves, when everyone focuses upon where they feel stuck and how they can move through it, how they can make changes, how can they incorporate the next steps of their lives, that is where you will find solutions. That's where you find solutions. And because you are empowering others to do it, they will find solutions for themselves too. And when we live lives that is not suppressed, that is not created this paradigm that we're missing out on something, that has not created this pain inside of us that we need to hold on to, or we feel we need to hold on to, you can create magic. When you don't have this inside of you, you're creating magic. And what do I mean by magic? By magic, I mean you're creating a life that is in alignment with your own vision. You're creating a life where you feel that you are in control. You are creating a life where you can truly be happy from the inside out. We're not happy because we have a home and a car and go on these lavish vacations. Yes, it adds to our happiness, but it isn't our happiness. Our happiness lies within us. Our happiness is the fact that you are breathing today. The very simple step that you can take right now is focus upon and identify which area of life do you feel stuck. And for the sake of an example, I'm going to say spirituality. When I ask myself, where in my life do I feel stuck? Spirituality was one of them. Because spirituality for me meant religion. And religion meant doing a prayer. And doing a prayer meant having these rules that I need to follow to be a good student of life. When I stepped into discovering what spirituality meant for me, and this is personal, I'm not telling you what to think, what to believe or not. I'm sharing with you a real life example. I felt stuck in my spirituality. And when I looked into why do I feel stuck, is because I was pushing myself down and punishing me for not doing the prayers every day. Therefore, I wasn't a good devotee to God. Therefore, something is missing in my life. But the true essence of spirituality that I discovered, and this is again personal to me, is spirituality doesn't mean that we are praying. Spirituality means that we are catering to the part inside of us that is bigger than us. That we are taking the time to recognize the big part inside of ourselves. So as I started on this journey and started paying attention to the bigger light inside of me that is connected with the universe, God, infinite light, whatever you choose to believe, only then can you truly discover what is inside of you. So instead of telling myself I need to do all these 5 prayers every day to be a good devotee, I started telling myself all I need to do is take a few intentional, deep breaths and say maybe a quick prayer. Maybe I'm just focusing on my breath. And maybe, just maybe, I'm letting myself know how grateful I am. So I changed that. Sometimes it was a prayer, sometimes it was a word, other times it was gratitude, and sometimes it was complete silence and just focus on my breath. Of course, my mind was racing. I'm a human being, flawed. And with all my flaws, I still choose to believe that there is a bigger light inside of me that's driving me. There's a bigger life that's inside of me that's telling me my purpose in this world right now. That's letting me know what I am meant to do. One of those things is speaking through a podcast. One of those things is serving through my meditations. Before we dive back in, I have something transformative to share with you. It's called the Alignment Collective. Release, rebuild, and rise. My signature group coaching program designed to help you unlock the life you deserve. Every month, we focus on a key area of life, from health to relationships, career, and more. In the first 2 weeks, we energetically release what's holding you back. Then we shift into calling in the abundance and clarity that you desire. And in the final week, we come together for a powerful group coaching, sharing our wins, our challenges, and raising the collective energy. Are you ready to release what doesn't serve you, rebuild your foundation, and rise into your potential? Try it for 50% off with discount code GROWTH. Visit matinasingh.com/meditation. The link is also found in the description. I can't wait to support you on this journey. Another thing is serving my clients, releasing these heaviness and these lower vibrations that they have held on to, and they truly don't believe that there's another way outside of it. So it's time for me to break free from my own small way of thinking, stepping into this higher purpose that I have received in serving people who are suffering. I take my purpose very seriously, but I can promise you I would never have discovered this had I not taken a different approach in feeling stuck in my spirituality versus discovering what spirituality truly means to me. And as I'm still on this discovery, and I always will be, I will always have this evolution happen. I trust that the infinite light will speak through me. I trust that the infinite light will guide me. And maybe you're like, Matina, I don't believe in God. I've had so many painful experiences that doesn't make me think that there is a God. Fair enough. Instead of thinking that there's a God for you, maybe the pathway is, what can you do today to love yourself more? What can you do today to give yourself an understanding of where in life do you feel stuck? As you're embracing upon this new year, as you embrace upon a new day, what do you choose to fill that day with? Because days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And before we know it, we are on our deathbed thinking of what did we create from our lives. Don't wait till that moment. Decide now for yourself. Decide who you want to be. Decide what this year is going to represent for you. Decide what is it inside of you that is going to create a different dynamic, When we start, it's not about punishing ourselves. Truly, it isn't. But you can't have this belief system that because you decided today that you're going to change a few things in your lives, it needs to be changed within weeks. Maybe you're 30 right now. Maybe you're 50 right now. You can't tell me that what you have created in your mind to be the truth is going to be shifted in days. Can it be shifted? Of course it can be shifted. And you will create those shifts. And you need to have patience with yourself. And you need to have grace for yourself. And you need to give yourself permission to fail. You know, when I got this insight of creating this podcast, I pushed it away. I didn't want to do it. I told myself all the lies. Who would want to listen to me? Why would I do this? What is the purpose of this? All the whys. And my guidance was so clear. It was like, you can believe all you want to believe, Matina, but people need you. You're going to be the voice for people and you need to embrace it. It is a very egoistic thought to have that I'm going to help people, unless I choose to believe that's never about me. I choose to believe that God is working through me. I choose to believe that this mission of my life right now is something that I signed up for. So if I signed up for it, it's not about me, and I choose to believe it's for the higher good, then why am I stopping it? It took me 3 years, 3 whole years to start this podcast. And here we are. I'm doing it and I'm loving it. I'm loving the conversations I'm having with my guests. I'm loving to sharing these guided messages that I'm sharing with you right now. The way that things come through me in the beautiful way it's guided, in the beautiful ways it's presented, it's perfect. Can I learn more? Of course I can learn more. Of course I can. But so can you. So dance with your fears. Don't allow those fears to stop you. Embrace them and then turn them around and shift them into magic so that you can continue. You can continue with your life. You can continue with who you are and what you are meant to do in this life. And it starts with you believing in you. I need to believe in me before I could do it. And I had helped a lot of people already. And still that voice was inside of my head. But my mission, my purpose is different from yours. When I stepped into understanding where I was stuck in my spirituality, I got my specific answers. You will get different answers, but you will get answers. You'll be shown the way. And the beauty part is you don't have to do it alone. I have amazing mentors. I have amazing friends all over the world that I embrace open arms. They're beautiful mentors and friends and communities out there for you too. We're never meant to be alone. We're never meant to be stuck. What we're meant to do is give our dreams the space and time it requires and needs. What we're meant to do is show up in ways so that other people can see you as an example and trust their own guidance. What we're meant to do is to speak our own truth and trust that the people who are meant to hear the message will hear the message. I don't know who's listening to this podcast right now, but I have full trust that it will reach the right people. I have full trust that when you are suffering in silence and you feel that you are alone, that you, yes, you, will have the courage to reach out to someone that you might perhaps know or to someone that you don't know. And if you feel inspired to reach out to me, please do. Please do. We all have people for us. My beautiful friends, my beautiful mentors, I can't thank them enough for showing me the way, for guiding me, holding my hand, holding space for when I broke down, holding space for when I felt stuck, holding space and encouraging me to keep going. I feel very blessed and grateful that I get to do that for others, as it's also being done for me. I'm so grateful in trusting that life will give me exactly what I need. Life will put me in places in the exact way it needs to happen and transpire. And some of these changes I will embrace with open arms, while other changes I will question. And I might just look up and look at God and be like, really? This is the way you want to do it? And I will have a chuckle or I will have a cry and I'll keep going. You need to keep going too. You need to embrace your life too. And I'm saying need to. Of course you don't need to. You can choose to. You don't need to. But when you don't do it, when you don't give yourself the space to understand where you feel stuck, where you feel unfulfilled, and where you are judging yourself, that subconscious chatter of judgment, of pain, of talking yourself down is going to continue to happen. I can tell you for myself, it has become so much more less, and it's become so much more revealing to me of how I think. The awareness is everything. But what we do with the awareness makes a bigger impact. When I became aware of why I felt stuck in spirituality, I started with a very simple thing, right? Like where I'm just focusing on my breath or saying a prayer or saying a word for 5 minutes and I'll be that. Then I didn't know what else to do. But the path was shown to me because I was asking the right questions. I was asking for guidance. I was asking the next steps to be shown. I've done so many beautiful, beautiful courses, read books, reached out to people who are so highly, beautifully spiritual so that I can learn. And The universe has shown me curves and taking me for a loop of, no, Matina, we don't want you there. We want you here. And I've questioned that. But every time I was questioning, I was asking the right questions. I wasn't asking, why are you doing this to me? Or why is this happening to me? Actually, I was asking, what in me has attracted this right now? What in me still requires healing right now? What in me haven't I discovered yet? And as I'm asking these better quality questions, I received answers that led my way, that pulled me into directions. So instead of asking what's next, I always just said, show me the next step. I'm ready to follow. Show me the next step. What's your next step today? What can you step into today to make 2025 your best year yet? What would that be? And maybe you're hearing this 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. It doesn't matter when you hear it. The question still rings true. How are you going to paint your tomorrow's canvas? How are you going to paint your today? What do you choose to do? How do you choose to show up? All questions that only you can answer. Only you can answer this. It's time to make a change. For me, this year is going to be significant, where I know I'll be speaking on stages, where I know I'll be serving people beyond measures, and where I know that our specific group where I do my coaching is going to be amplified in ways that I cannot imagine. I can't imagine, nor do I need to, because whatever my mind will come up, it will be too small. Because infinite source, God, universe, the light shows me how much more is possible. Therefore, I only say I'm ready. I'm ready to embrace it. I'm ready for the shifts. I'm ready for my new life. I hope you are too. Thank you for listening. I hope this episode has helped you to feel less alone in finding tools towards a life which is overflowing with love and purpose. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a second to rate and review. Each review helps us to reach more individuals who are seeking healing and personal growth just like you. And don't forget to take a screenshot and share your aha moments on your Instagram stories and tag me, Singh Matina. See you next week. Take care.